Hi, IWF. We're here with Alex today. Tell us about your journey, both personally and professional, and how you got to where you are in Miami today.
So I moved full-time to Miami during COVID in June 2020. I my entire spending time in Miami. My mother's Cuban, so I used to spend my summers, June, July, and August, every summer of my childhood, specifically within Miami, and I've always loved it here. I grew up in New York City and went to Harvard undergrad. When I graduated, went into investment banking at Merrill Lynch, started in New York, moved to London. I love languages. I've always had a deep love of languages, speak 5 languages, so got to use them working in London. So most of the deals that I worked on while at Merrill were focused on Southern European clients, which was fun. So I got to use Spanish, French, Portuguese, and English, and Italian, which was great. And then came back to the States, went to business school back at Harvard, and very much wanted to adjust the trajectory, get away from finance and get into the retail industry. I was open to retail, beauty, fashion, and ended up taking a full-time offer to work at Louis Vuitton and was in their management and training program for a couple years. Worked for Bulgari and ran the retail stores for Bulgari. I was 28 years old at the time, based in New York City. And then in 2007 is when I caught the entrepreneurial bug and launched my first venture and partnered with 4 other co-founders. And we launched Gilt, which became I would say a startup rocket ship of growth. We grew very quickly. We were a pioneer in the flash sale business model in the US, learned many things, could talk about Gilt for hours, but we'll kind of speed through it. And during that time, got very involved supporting entrepreneurs, mostly female entrepreneurs, in their journey. So over the years, have become either an angel investor or an advisor to what now is over 80 startups, many of them being founded by women coming out of Harvard or Harvard Business School, but not exclusively, have supported men as well. And many of our members would know, and maybe our consumers of companies like Rent the Runway, Birchbox, Carbon 38, The Mirror, Paperless Post, some beauty companies. It's a long list. And some that didn't make it. So definitely have seen all sides of entrepreneurships. As we all know, being a founder, being an entrepreneur it's a tough road. After Gilt, went on to be co-founder CEO of GlamSquad, which does in-home beauty services. Was there a couple years, then did another 2 startups in AI and machine learning in the fashion industry. From there was recruited by BCG to go work at Allergan, where I led all things consumer digital, and got to build startups from within a big corporate environment, which was a lot of fun. Learned about pharma, learned about healthcare, medical aesthetics. And then after that is when I started my current journey as a full-time investor. So I launched a fund called Clarisy with an incredible partner, a woman named Lisa Myers, who is a partner at L Catterton, arguably the best consumer private equity fund out there. And we partnered together, raised our first fund, and have been investing all across consumer for the past several years. We launched basically during COVID, and that's when I moved to Miami. And so happy to be living here full time now.
Well, it's an incredible journey with a lot of successes, and a lot about it on the internet. You think how you feel about or what you feel the proudest about in the successes you've had so far?
Well, I didn't mention that I'm a mother, so that's very important to me as a person, as a human, and I'm married. So we have 2 children, a 14-year-old son, 11-year-old daughter. I would say that I'm probably most passionate about being a real champion for entrepreneurship. And so back in 2012, I wrote a book together with Alexis Maybank, my Gilt co-founder, and the book became a New York Times bestseller. It was called By Invitation Only: How We Built Gilt and Changed the Way Millions Shop. And when that book came out, the two of us around the country talking about our experience as founders, and the intention for us was really to try and inspire other women to start businesses and to think big when they were starting their businesses, not the typical kind of smaller, safer bet, but to take calculated risks and go for it. And Alexis and I, my co-founder, and I used to say that we didn't have that many role models of female founders that we wanted to copy and in footsteps necessarily. So what we really wanted to do was provide women with some inspiration that yes, you can do it, and here are all the things we've learned along the way, successes we've had, mistakes we've made, suggestions for how to take an idea and execute it and make it a reality. So I would say that I'm proud of hopefully having motivated other women to take those risks, and I know I've been a mentor and an advisor to hundreds of people, mostly women along the way, and I'm proud of that.
Well, I'm sure you have inspired a lot. I've seen some of your speaking engagements. And so tell us what is the advice you give most women and the best advice you've ever received, if it's different.
So I love to encourage people to really build their networks and build relationships, and it comes very naturally to me. I love meeting new people. I love staying in touch with them, connecting with them over LinkedIn, keeping their contact details, and just trying to stay in touch with people over time. And I think that it has served me well to have this global network and quote unquote Rolodex of people, and it comes in handy for all kinds of things, whether it's thinking about hiring for portfolio companies, whether it's help. I mean, you name it. I think having a powerful network where you're doing kind things for other people, I think it comes right back at you. So I don't know. I believe in karma. And sometimes, if I did a favor for you, Melanie, it might somehow come back at me in a completely different way. Sure. And I just, if there's anything I can ever do to support another woman and lift her, especially when, we all have moments where we're feeling down and maybe misguided, or you're in between chapters, we can all use support from one another. And so if I can help elevate that.
In addition to, I mean, I know you do a lot of speaking and encouraging entrepreneurship. Is there other ways, or are there other ways that you're connecting in Miami outside of your profession?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm connecting with people all the time. I think since for us as a family, moving here full time was really exciting for all four of us. So one way we made so many new friends, and we knew a lot of people, as I shared, I've been coming here my whole life, but certainly met a lot of people professionally, whether it was through IWF. I had been a member previously in New York. I joined the board of PAM, the Paris Art Museum. Through my children's schools, I've met a lot of people. I play a ton of tennis, so I've met lots of women through various tennis teams that I've been playing on, and also got pretty actively involved in the tech scene in Miami. And when NFTs were all the buzz, I was jumping in and learning about NFTs and buying them, selling them, engaging with people in the tech community here. So, if I commit to something, I'm all in. I want to meet as many people as possible. I think what's been fun about living in Miami too is that many new people have certainly moved here. So I've been introduced to all kinds of, friends from back home in New York will say, "Oh, I have a new friend moving. Can you give them advice?" Or people certainly reached out to me. I mean, when we had newly moved here, I remember when you reached out to me and invited me to some of the IWF events that were smaller, as we were all kind of crawling out of COVID and starting to socialize again. So I've been very appreciative of people making the transition smooth for us.
Tell us what you're learning about now.
I mean, I love learning. I love reading. I love trying new things. Right now, I'm just trying to better understand AI, generative AI, and understanding all the ways that we can use it as consumers, involved in as an investor. So just seeing the advances in technology every single day, every single week has been exciting. I drive quite a bit in Miami, as many of us probably do. So I listen to all kinds of podcasts. So I'm always looking for new podcasts, whether it's to educate me about specific industries, general business. There's a lot happening now. I'll listen to beauty focused fashion, and I love trying new things, learning. Never ashamed to admit what I don't know and what I don't understand. I'm the first to say, this is new to me, but I think I will continue to be a lifelong learner.
Perfect segue. Tell us what book or podcast you're recommending now.
Oh, well, I love Scott Galloway. He cracks me up. So I listen to Pivot with Scott Galloway and Kara Swisher all the time. I don't think I miss any of their episodes. They're very funny. They have strong opinions, but I appreciate them. I listen to The Daily, Business of Fashion. In terms of a new book, I get recommended books all the time. I'd say that I usually read business books or parenting books. So on the parenting side, I would say Lisa D'Amour is my go-to. She's an expert in raising teenagers. She knows a lot. So I've read a lot of her books, and I think she's just come out. The Emotional Lives of Teenagers is one I just finished and enjoyed. And then in terms of business books, I'm always eager to read any out there. I guess if you're looking for a suggestion, I might as well suggest my own. It's still in circulation, even though it came out in 2012. So it was called By Invitation Only: How We Built Gilt and Changed the Way Millions Shop.
Okay, some fun questions. What is a fact about you that we would not find on the internet? And there's a lot about you on the internet.
Uh-oh. um, I I've gotten much better, but I used to be pretty afraid of pigeons. I have a phobia of pigeons. I don't like them. But now that I don't encounter them that much living in Miami, when I'm back in New York or in cities where there are a lot of pigeons, they seem to bother me less. So I think that phobia has died a bit. But there was a moment where I did everything I could to avoid them.
Okay, interesting fact. What is the most exciting or memorable adventure you've had outside of your career?
Oh, there have been many. I will say this past summer, our family went to Alaska, which was really exciting and different for us as a family. We had a really special day. We took a helicopter and then went dog sledding on a glacier. And so that was special and adventurous for us to do. So I would say Alaska. It's one of those bucket list check, beautiful places. You feel like you're going back in time with such incredible nature.
Yeah, it's on my list. Okay, last question. We ask everyone, if you were in charge of the playlist, what song would be playing next?
Um, I just took my daughter to see Taylor Swift, and that was really fun and special. We went and saw her at So I would say it would be any Taylor Swift song right now. She's stuck in my head.
Great. Well, thank you. Thanks for doing the interview, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Melanie. Thanks so much.